Welcome back everybody to Jix Host. Today's video is going to be on what happens when data is lost. Either the customer deletes his data in error, or the hosting company loses the data due to a faulty hard drive and they don't have backups, or the data gets corrupted and fails completely for one reason or another, either a hacked website or data corruption on a RAID-array hard drive. What happens in that case? As many of you know, I've been web hosting for the good part of 11 or 12 years now, and this has come across in many different ways, such as a website being hacked, a hard drive failing, whatnot. For one reason or another, a small, very small percentage of my clients did lose their data. So, who's responsible for that? Who pays for that? Who pays for the losses? Who pays for recreating a site, lost business, whatever reason one can dream up? Typically, hosting companies are there to do one thing, and that's to provide a medium to propagate a client's data on the internet. So, for example, if you happen to be a client and not a provider, you have your data, your website, you upload it to a hosting company that you would subscribe to and pay every month or every year. And that hosting company will put your data to be propagated throughout the internet. Now, if the client's data, or your data, if you're the client, gets lost, gets deleted, whatever, unfortunately for the client, it's the client's responsibility. A web hosting provider is not, and I repeat, is not being paid to curate the client's data, to secure the client's data, to store the client's data. None of that, unless otherwise, specified in the agreement. But if you read the terms of services of most, if not all, web hosting companies, they will say specifically, we are not responsible for your data. You are solely responsible for your data to maintain backups, etc., etc., etc. So when a client does give their data, uploads their data, a copy of their data to their web hosting provider, the client also needs to manage his or her own backups. It's very, very important. I've run into this recently with a client. Claims he lost his website. It was a WordPress website. It wasn't due to a failed hard drive. I know with our network, we run redundancy hard drives. So if a hard drive does fail, it's mirrored onto a duplicated hard drive. So since we've been doing that 6-7 years ago, never had any issues of losing a hard drive as of yet. Or at least, I'm sorry, losing data as of yet. But in this particular case, somebody had lost their website. They're claiming we deleted it, which, we're not going to delete somebody's website. It doesn't make business sense for us to go ahead and do that. Somebody who's paying us month after month after month, wouldn't make much sense for us to go ahead and delete their website. Why? We're going to lose that revenue. So long story short, we had asked this individual to re-upload their backup. We'll happily restore it for them. They did not have it. They assumed we were curators of their data. Unfortunately, they learned rather quickly that that was not the case. Says we're responsible. We say we're not responsible. We can show them terms of services and whatnot. So if you're a web hosting provider, if you're looking to be a web hosting provider, be sure you have your terms and conditions posted on your website. Now, you may decide that you do want to be a curator of data, or you want to manage and maintain data, which is fine. Just be sure that you're charging your client accordingly for that. Don't try to be the cheapest guy in the industry, charging $1 or $2 a month, and then be the curator of data, be the manager of data, do all of that, because you'll quickly realize it's going to cost you a lot more money to do all those things. Now, Other than that, if you have any questions in reference to that, in reference to terms and conditions, I ask if you could go ahead and post those down below publicly and not send me, personal DMs, because I want everybody to learn from this. It's a give and take situation. I do these videos because I like to share my experience, my 11, 12 years of experience, and a lot of people, I guess, are gravitating to this channel because they want to learn about web hosting for one reason or the other. Either they're just curious about the industry, or they just want to get into it, make some extra money, side income, full-time income. I've made a full-time income of it. It can be exciting, it can be stressful. I didn't have hair when I started this, but I'm sure if I had a head full of hair, I'd probably be like I am now today. It can be stressful, but on the other token, it could be very lucrative. It's gratifying. It's nice being able to make an income remotely or at home or whatnot without having to roll out of bed and show up to a job on time and be there. And, well, you get the idea. Getting back, sorry I drifted off topic, but getting back to topic, do have your terms and conditions spelled out. Be sure your clients understand them. If they do want a host to curate data for them and maintain historical backups, do have that spelled out so at least there's an understanding and not when and if something does happen, because when you host tens of thousands of websites, chances are you will run into one person or two or a few more saying, hey, what happened to my website? It got hacked, it got deleted, it got lost, my account got compromised, something like that. That happens. Another thing that I just thought of, aside from data being lost, data can be corrupted and hacked as well. It's not always going to be the web host, unless the complete server gets hacked. But for example, if you have a website by WordPress, let's say. WordPress is a very popular framework, a very popular platform. Millions of people use it. And anything that draws a big crowd of people will also draw a big crowd of not so nice people that will want to hack it or do malicious things with it. So having a WordPress site or having a website with a common framework also requires you to be running patches, updates, just basically hardening your site on an ongoing basis. It doesn't stop. Otherwise, you do run the risk of your account being hacked, not through the web hosting panel. It can go through the actual WordPress panel, and then they can go through there. So be very careful. Do keep that updated. Again, very important that the client or subscriber does communicate with the host. Will the host be updating my website? Well, now you're getting into webmaster work, not necessarily hosting. You'd be amazed, someone who orders an account for $1.98, and all of a sudden the host becomes their webmaster, they become their data curator, they become their client manager, they become, you name it, the whole bit. So do spell that out. This video might be running a little bit long today. I do apologize. It's just I thought it was an important subject for some who are getting into the business or who are new to the business. It's something you're going to want to always have spelled out to save you some issues down the line. Again, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you got something out of it today. I will be making more. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, do post them down below publicly. I will also respond to each and every one of you publicly. Thanks again, guys. Have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Bye.